Welcome back to Solo in Seattle, the podcast where we dive into the real, raw, and reflective journeys of women navigating identity, reinvention, and everything in between. Today's guest is someone who embodies what it means to begin again with heart, with hustle, and with unwavering sense of purpose. Tash Haynes is a storyteller, a photographer, a wife, a mother, a woman of deep faith, and a powerful voice in the world of influence and entrepreneurship. Her journey is one of resilience through reinvention, with every chapter of her life marking a new beginning, often met with both challenge and clarity. In this conversation, we talk about what it means to come full circle. We explore love and partnership, especially the unwavering support of her husband during life's biggest transitions. We talk about friendship, the gains, the losses, and what it's like to navigate social circles when your visibility grows. And of course, we talk about influence and what it means to lead with integrity in a world that often pushes the opposite. So, whether you're starting over, leveling up, or simply sitting in between, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Hey, girl.
Hey,
Good morning.
good boy.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I just got home from a trip and I'm just kind of recalibrating and getting
Yes.
myself back into life before I leave again in a couple days.
Yes, girl, I am all about that. I am all about entering and exiting.
Yeah, listen, I stay entering and exiting, okay?
Pop in, pop out.
Listen, okay? We gonna be on, we gonna be out, we gonna be in, and we gonna be out again.
Yeah, I do. I do love a good in and out situation. Yeah.
I think I'm learning too. We are always trying to plan these elaborate vacations, but there's so much to be said for a 24-hour thing or a 48-hour thing
Oh,
or just a 3 to 4 day thing.
yeah.
Just get like renewed and
Seriously.
then you just come back in and get back to work.
No, I we kind of giggled about it earlier about the 24-hour whirlwind
Yeah.
and popping into a situation and both having to be in the same location.
Yeah. And listen, I can't wait. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So, I
Mm.
just want to chat with you a little bit about some new beginnings and some life chapters. You've been through several life chapters: motherhood, entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
photography, influencing. What does a new beginning look like for you compared to the past?
Well, I feel like what I am realizing is a new beginning usually means pretty tough ending. And where before I would be really sad to be closing doors or ending things and would almost dread it. Now I see like if things feel like they're ending or they're not going the way that I thought or they're being shut down, I know that something new is on the horizon. So I almost am embracing it in a different way instead of fighting it. I feel like before in the past, I would be change would be hard, and now I feel like I understand in order for wherever it is that I'm supposed to be going, that I have to embrace
Yeah.
endings.
You know what? I don't care what anyone says. I love endings.
Yeah,
They have to happen.
I'm learning to love them.
I love closing a door. It doesn't mean you're ending something. It just means you're ready for something new.
Yeah, I think that is the posture, and I feel like I always say this to my friends. I'm like, I just feel like we're being taught things wrong. Like we're being told that things last forever
Yeah.
and things are supposed to be a certain way. And I think the generation before us, like they looked for stability, and so it was always about longevity of something. And I think there's value in that, but I think the reality is that most of us don't get to have longevity across the board in
Yeah.
whatever it is, whether it's like friendship, marriage, career, whatever. Most of us have seasons. What's unfortunate is like we feel like if we're in a season or if things don't last forever, that we failed in some way, but that's like the natural flow of life.
But listen, when those things end, it is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But then you gain so much clarity.
Yeah. It's true.
When you walk away from something and you're able to position yourself and actually sit down without the
Mm.
chaos, and the chaos doesn't even mean drama,
Yeah.
just the day-to-day ownership of the relationship, if you will, whether
Mhm.
it's with a friend, with a husband, with a partner, with a sibling, a parent, and you let that go or you let that like kind of just rest. When you don't have the emotional tie, the baggage,
Mhm.
there's so much clarity you receive.
Well, there's clarity, but there's also courage too, to kind of one, take a hard look at yourself Because a lot of times we think that it's the other person or the other thing, and a lot of times it really has nothing to do with any of those things. It
Yeah.
really is about ourselves and the things that we need to learn in the
Yeah.
situation. And so the courage that we gain to carry those lessons forward, to do it differently the next time
Yeah.
is also such a gift. Listen, we love an ending.
Yeah.
We love an ending and we love a beginning.
Yeah.
So
So, it's just not gonna work. So, was there a chapter in your life that felt like a complete pivot, and what pushed you to embrace that change?
well, I feel like I'm kind of in that chapter right now, honestly. I recently, in the last year, kind of decided that I was not going to allow. I'm a content creator. I think it's very easy to jump into the mold of what content creation looks like or what you're supposed to be. And I think in the last year, against like so much good advice, I don't know if I'm going to call it good. I just was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. I had friends who were telling me that I needed to be doing more of this or be less of this, or I had my agency telling me, like, this is what's going to work. And I just kind of decided that, like, all those things may be true, but that's not what works for me. And I think I kind of drew a hard line in the sand about the kind of person that I want to be and how I want to show up. And that meant walking away from my management. It meant walking away from some friendships. It meant switching up how I wanted to show up to the world and in life. And it was really painful. And so I ended 2024 not really sure of like what life was going to look like for me,
Yeah.
but also being okay with whatever the outcome was, whether that meant that maybe my career as an influencer was over.
How do you honor previous versions of yourself while stepping into new roles?
I feel like, first of all, that's a great question. I mean, you can't step into a new role without honoring previous versions of yourself. Like every version of myself, good, bad, ugly, like paved the way for this version of myself. And so I'm just always like, thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you for staying the course. Thank you for fighting through whatever it is that you had to fight through. Thank you for taking the heartbreak and the heartache and still deciding to move forward because, like, we can't walk into any part of who we are without the person that carried us to this stage, you know?
Yeah.
I think though there has to be like a heart posture that understands that like everything that you go through, everything that you've experienced like had purpose and
Mhm.
is like moving you closer to your destiny or whatever it is. And I think if you believe that truly like inside, you don't feel like you've missed out because you
Yeah.
just trust for me, because I have a deep faith, I just believe that God's like hand is on my life and I trust him. So whatever it is that I'm walking through, let me actually give an example. This weekend I was in Mexico with my cousin and, we just met in 2023, and he's getting married to his fiancée. When I met him, I met her. I met them together. So for me, my relationship with him is as close to my relationship with her because 'cause they're an item. I met them at the same time, so I've been
Yeah.
building a relationship with both of them. And this is my blood cousin. He's 36, I'm 43, maybe he's 37. Child, I don't know. He's somewhere in his 30s,
Yeah.
okay? In his late 30s. But it's like I was sitting across from him and there's just like such a deep love and reverence for each other. Like we're just so thankful for one another. I'm officiating their weddings and I could be really angry that like I was robbed of 30 years of this relationship with this person. But I have instead decided like God knew what he was doing. And I trust that like while I did not have this upbringing with this person and I missed all these moments, like I'm in his life in some of the most important moments of his life. Like he's getting married, they're going to have children. I'm going to be there for all of that. And so I can see it that way and not have like regret or frustration or depression because I trust that whatever my journey was up to this point needed to happen the way that it happened
Yeah.
for me to be who I need to be right
Yeah.
now. And I'm seeing my role in my family and in particular this particular cousin, my role in his life. I see the value of it
Mhm.
and I know that I honor it and appreciate it and value it more because I didn't have it before, you know? So, yeah, I think it's just a surrender and a trusting and a knowing that, like, my creator knows what he's doing in my life, and as long as I am steered and led in that direction by him, I will be okay.
Yeah. And I think there's something beautiful in having adult friendships with your cousins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. I
it's
enjoy my
10 out of
cousins.
10.
I enjoy them so much. They're such a
Yeah.
good time, and I'm so thankful they're my family, but I would definitely pick them to be my friends too.
Yeah. So I have a cousin, and she's the one who invites me to every out of the country experience.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, she plans it, and she's like, "Oh, I need you to be here these dates in this
So,
country."
come on, buy your ticket and let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it happens. So we went to Thailand last year
Oh,
for
I
10
love
days.
Thailand so
Yeah,
much.
we're going to Cabo next
Yeah,
month,
yeah.
September? I don't know,
My
whenever.
cousins are like that
Yeah.
too, like, every time we leave, we already know what the next trip is gonna be.
Yeah, yeah, so she's like a world traveler, and she curates, like, her vacations, and then she's like, "Oh, Mandy," that's what my family calls me, like, "Oh, Mandy would like to I know she would love this trip," and so she'll text me and be like, "We're here these dates, come," and I hop on their trips.
I love that.
It's so much
I feel like
fun.
every family needs to have, like, somebody who travels. In my
Yeah,
family, I'm that, so
yeah,
yeah.
and, but, those adult friendships with your cousins, I mean, when you get a good cousin, that can meet you where you're at in life,
Yeah.
10 out of
Yeah, on
10.
on both sides,
Yeah,
I'm so blessed,
yeah.
and I think as I'm getting older, they are becoming some of my closest friends.
Yeah, it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it, and it's also so worth seeing how similar you are.
Oh, that's been the most amazing part. I actually found my mom's family when I was 25,
Mhm.
and then I found my dad's family, 3 years ago, and, I love my maternal cousins and my maternal family, but I did feel like I still felt a little different,
Yeah,
than that family. Like, they're a little more reserved, a little more quiet. I'm definitely, like, very, like, boisterous and extroverted and
yeah.
strong-willed and all of those things, and there are those things too, but in their own ways. Like, I definitely was, like, sticking out, and then I
Mm.
meet my Haitian family, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this all makes sense." Like, I just feel so, connected to them, and I
Yeah,
feel like so much about myself makes sense.
yeah,
Finding my dad's family.
yeah,
In a lot of ways, it feels biblical. Who your father is a big deal, like, biblically, and so I feel I really got my identity when I found
yeah,
my dad's family. I just really understood myself a lot
yeah.
more.
So what's funny is, so my dad's side of the family, the cousin that I'm speaking of, she's on his side as well, and her husband spent 10 days with me, and he was like, "I don't know who's my wife. You guys are identical, the way you talk, the
Mhm.
way you respond, the way that, I don't know." He was just like, "That's crazy how the 2 of you are so exact."
Well, and the cousin I'm speaking of that I was with this weekend is a male,
Yeah,
and he feels more like a brother than a cousin. We just have, like, such similar values and
yeah,
just ways of being, and I feel like he is the male version of me.
yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
special.
cool when you find a chapter of yourself you never knew.
Yeah, it is cool, and I don't keep a I mean, obviously, I don't have a lot of male relationships, like
Mm.
so it's so fun having a guy who I love so deeply, who gets me, who I can talk to, and it's not, like, inappropriate in any way. This is
Sure.
my family member, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just been really nice.
It's a funny story. I have a male cousin. He came to visit me here in Seattle with his wife and 2 kids.
Mm,
The wife is like my sister, and the 2 kids, they're like my niece and nephew instead of
mhm,
cousins. They
mhm.
call me like Aunt Amanda. But the boy cousin is the same thing. Our energy is just when we're together, we're running the same speed.
Mhm.
We have a little side looks, and it's not inappropriate. It is very fun and very nice to have a male cousin to match your energy.
Yeah,
It's
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 cool.
it's
It's
super
nice. It's
fun.
my first time in my life having that, so it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I would probably say, like, I've had just an equal balance of male and female friends
Mm,
because I just go straight to homey vibes. I committed to myself and that journey, and so it's like a hard stop for me.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, although I'm, like, out in the community and I'm hanging out and I'm liking it or whatever, I don't put myself in situations where, I allow myself to enter into a relationship that's fruitless.
I love that. So good.
Yeah.
I have been in a relationship with Ike since I was 20, I think 22 or 23, so it's
Yeah.
just been so long.
Right.
So there really hasn't I mean, I do have friends that are guys, but they're all his friends,
Yeah.
right? So I just never had room for that, and
Yeah.
I didn't date ever. He was my
Mm.
first boyfriend.
Mhm.
And so I didn't when I was younger, I was really focused on I mean, I grew up in foster care, so I knew, like, I had to make sure I was about my stuff because I didn't
Yeah.
have anybody that was gonna rescue me or take care of me, so I was always very focused. I didn't date because I didn't have time for that. I was trying
Yeah.
to build a life for myself and build a career for myself. So, I just have never had
Yeah.
I just haven't had exposure.
Yeah, and I mean, I say this a lot, like, I'm a serial monogamous. I've been in 2 10-year relationships. So, same but different. I met my son's father, we got married, and I was committed to that for a long time. Even when I left him, he was still my husband
Right.
until we got a divorce. Even though we weren't physically, like, I still honored that,
Mhm.
and then when I was with this person for 10 years, the last 3 years of our relationship was sexless, and that's so real. Whenever you're in a long-term relationship, and you find this dissonance and you're 2 trains passing in a night, and so, like, I just kept that same energy,
Mhm.
because I was like, "Well, I wouldn't," you know, participating in it anyways, so it's not hard for me to, like, just, keep
Not
this
yeah.
momentum. Like, it's not like, that I'm obviously, I'm not a nun. The desire is still there, but it's just in these social circles, everyone's sharing each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's almost, and I mean, I meet people and I hang out with people, but it's I get disgusted because 'cause I'm just like, I have to ask someone that I meet, "Do you know my core?" Because
Just to make sure.
just to make sure, because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not sharing nothing.
I heard it's wild out there on the streets.
Girl, they better keep it pushing. So, you've openly shared challenges you've overcome. What has been your anchor during the hardest seasons?
My faith, 100%. My faith is the thing that grounds me and anchors me, and it's just steadfast. It just does not change, and that has been, like, the most consistent thread in my life,
Yeah. I
my
mean,
full
faith
life.
faith is so beautiful. It's unwavering, you commit to it.
Yeah, well, and it's also it gives you hope, and I think
Mhm.
hope is so important. I think we don't shine a light on hope and, like, how it drives us enough,
Yeah,
and my faith gives me hope.
that's right. So, are there any moments in your journey where you looked around and thought, "Wow, I really made it full circle?"
I'm in it right now. I'm in it right now. We're sitting in it right now. Um,
I read this question and I was like, "She's here."
yeah, no, it's like I am like, "Dang, girl, we didn't come from anything, and, like, look at this life. Like, look at this life that we've built." And, yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I don't spend enough time really thinking about all that I have accomplished and done, and I think 2025 for me, I was telling, my closest friend, I was like, I've done everything I wanted to do in life."
Yeah,
I've accomplished all the things I wanted to accomplish. I've achieved all the things that I wanted to achieve, and even some things I didn't want to achieve. And I think I think the pressure is to, like, keep going after something, to keep trying to
the
attain,
hustle
to
the
hustle.
hustle culture.
Yeah, and I am like, yeah, I'm gonna just sit in this. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna sit in this for a little bit
Yeah.
and not try to be more, not try to collect more.
Mhm.
I just want to sit in, like, deep gratitude for, like, all that I have done and accomplished. So things are really in terms of, like, me, like, people are like, "What are you working on?" I'm like, "Nothing.
Mhm.
I'm not working on anything.
Yeah.
I'm working on being thankful for what I have in my
Yeah.
hands." And I don't want to do more. I don't want to get more. I want to steward what I have really well. My relationships, my home, my family. So yeah, I definitely feel like I'm there right now. I got several degrees. I built several businesses. I'm sitting in a brand new home.
Girl,
It's just
beautiful.
crazy. I think it's just crazy. Like, yeah, I'm really proud of the life that
I'm
I've built
so
for
proud of
myself.
you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. And you and I met, gosh, not even a year ago, yeah? At the
Yeah, I don't know when that
I don't know
was. Was
when it
that
was.
last summer?
It had to have been last summer. So maybe
Yeah,
we're,
so
like, at a
yeah, a
full
year ago,
circle, yeah.
yeah.
Because at the Holland American
Yeah, yeah,
event,
and I can
yeah.
tell you that last summer, I did not have owning a home was never on my list of things to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
Never, ever. I had no desire or aspiration to be a homeowner. There are a lot of things that I wanted to do that I've done, but, like, this was not one of them. But now that I own one,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "What was I thinking? Why wasn't it on my list?" So I think what I'm trying to do now is, discipline comes up a lot for me. I wanna master myself. That is the thing that I actually have not done a great job of, is
Yeah,
mastering myself, and when I say that, I mean, I wanna be in the best health that I've ever been in. I want to have really strong, clear boundaries.
please.
I wanna see things through. I think I'm so good at performing and getting things done that I can produce a lot
Mm.
while also procrastinating on the things that I really need to be doing.
Oh,
And so on
girl.
the outside looking in, it seems like, wow, she's like achieving so much, but you don't know secretly there are so many things that I am like not actually doing that I should be doing.
Yeah.
So I want to master myself in this
Yeah.
next season and really teach myself how to be disciplined
Yeah.
and how to follow through.
What I like to say for myself is
Mhm.
everything has a time slot.
Yeah, child, because I be playing with it. I be playing, okay? I've been wanting to write a book for so long, and we'll do all the other I'll blog about
Yeah.
something, but I won't sit down and write the book that I wanna write. Girl, just write the book.
Y
You know, I could have had the book written.
yeah.
So those are the kinds of things. I don't want a six pack, but I wanna have, like, a flat stomach, or
Girl,
I
I
want
wanna be
to
slim fine.
like, I wanna have muscles. It's like,
Yeah.
girl, so have like, do 75 hard and keep going
Yeah.
and stop making excuses. I wanna stop making
Okay,
excuses.
let me just tell you this. Build it to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Because you do 75 hard, it's not sustainable. It'll get you to your increment,
Yeah.
but you will backslide.
Well, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take small pieces of that and build on it, right?
Yeah, that's
And
good.
and build it in a way that works for you that you can maintain it.
Well, I'm starting with my eating,
Yeah.
which is a big deal, but that's not for the whole podcast
Yeah.
universe to hear, but I
Yeah.
just really wanna be more
No,
disciplined and
seriously. I mean, so many channels happen.
yeah.
So many channels happen with discipline, and it really begins with mindset.
Yeah, yeah, and I wanna master my mind.
Yeah.
What do I know about resilience now that I didn't know 10 years ago? I don't think it's enough to be resilient. I think we ride the wave of resilience and we feel like that's good enough. And it's great. It's great to be resilient, but it's not enough. And I almost feel like being resilient can kind of be a curse because people see you that way and then you start to see yourself as like, well, I'll bounce back, and then you're not always planning for the worst
Yeah.
case scenario or planning for because you already know you're gonna make it through. When do you stop making it through?
What I've allowed myself to happen is to let my feelings be hurt because for so long I would dismiss and I wouldn't acknowledge.
That's good, like, just sitting in it, sitting in the uncomfortable. That's really it. I actually feel like I wouldn't have answered that question that way, but I do feel like I have learned to, like, sit in the discomfort of
Yeah.
things and not, like, bury them,
Yeah.
not be so quick to, like, walk away.
Yeah.
Because I will walk away.
Yeah. Oh,
I will walk
oh,
away.
oh. My cutoff game is strong.
Mine too, but I am realizing that doesn't actually
It's
solve
not effective.
anything. It's
It's
not.
not effective because you still have to deal with it,
You do. And,
you know?
I did walk away from something a couple years ago and thought it was the answer. It wasn't,
No.
and it haunted me. So, yeah, that's really good. That's a good answer.
Yeah. So let's talk about love, support, and partnership.
'Kay.
Your husband has been a visible and vital part of your story. How has your relationship evolved through all of your chapters?
Yeah, Ike is a great friend, and I think that is really what has allowed us to last for so long. Our friendship has always kind of been paramount, and I think when you are friends with someone, they honor you for who you are, and they give you space to be who you are, and just like in a friendship, there's room for you to grow and change, and I've always had that space to be who I need to be, pivot, change my mind, backslide, all the
Yeah.
things without judgment, and also, I think he is really clear on who he wants to be, and I've also been able to be that for him,
Yeah.
and so, I think what has worked for us is we're not while we are visibly a partnership, we're our own people, and we've
Please,
always been allowed to be our own people, and
please say it.
I am not the kind of girl and I don't know, there might be some backlash. My identity is not through my husband. While he is my partner, like, I am fully my own person
Yeah.
with my own identity and my
Yeah.
own dreams. I am not just his wife. I do not exist to serve him. I never want to be that person.
Yeah.
And I think that goes against what we're taught, especially if like you're religious, because the idea is like you're a helpmate, you're a blah blah blah. And yes, I am all of those things, but I have had the freedom to also be myself.
Yeah.
That has been important for me. I know
Mhm.
that that's not what every woman necessarily wants. Maybe women want to serve their husbands and be all of those things. We're a partnership,
Yeah.
and that's how we see our marriage.
Good. And it needs to be of substance in that way. That's how you feed each other. That's how you feed the need of being sustainable. So my background is in master's degree in counseling, marriage
Mhm.
and family. I've worked in that field for many, many years. I teach 7 principles of making marriage work, all of those courses and I see well, I don't deal with couples in conflict
Mhm.
because we're not doing that. But I do see that level of loneliness when there's attachment issues.
I would've been a miserable wife and mother. I just if
Yeah.
that was all I was, I just
Yeah.
I would not have done well.
My friends that I have that are influencers and they're finding themselves through creativity, that's a lot of them have said, before this, I was just a wife and mother.
Some people, that is their call, and
Yeah.
they're amazing at it. I know people who are really great at taking care of their homes, and they would never wanna do anything else, and I
Yeah.
think that's great, and I think
Yeah.
that's wonderful. I think the problem that we have now is when people believe that their call is what everybody else's call should be.
Yeah.
That has not been who I have been ever.
Yeah.
Ike will make jokes. He'll be like, "Get in the kitchen," and I'm like, "Now you know you did not marry her," and he'll just laugh because it's he
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
I've never committed to that. That's not who I
Mm.
am. Like,
Yeah.
I've always been very ambitious. I've always wanted my own career, my own
Mhm.
money, my own way.
And that's so attractive,
Yeah, well, and
you know?
thankfully, I'm with someone who gets it and
Mm.
who lets me be that person
Yeah.
because it wouldn't have worked otherwise.
You and I discuss, like, there's so many layers that we don't have publicly out there, but when you actually sit with me one-on-one and you're like, "God damn,"
Yeah,
like,
she's
all
doing
of
her
these
thing.
things,
Yeah, yeah,
that I don't share, and it's too much.
yeah.
And so I choose me. And I'm quite content with that. Yeah. Even with, my son's father, my ex-husband, my last boyfriend, like gave me the wings to fly. Like I was my own individual too, and they love that. And they had their own things too. But I feel like there's just something about this new era of men backsliding into regressive behaviors.
Well,
No,
I
thank
mean,
you.
top-down leadership.
So what
Yeah.
does support look like in your marriage today, especially as your platforms and influence grow? And you kind of touched on that already.
Yeah, I mean, but he also has his own platform. Like,
Yep.
he's a YouTuber. He has way more followers than I do. Like, he has his own, like, thing going on, and I think it's just, like, allowing your person to express themselves and be the best that they can and add to that growth. So, I feel like support is just understanding who you are in relationship with and giving that person the wings to fly, you know?
That's such a good chapter to have. Has your love story influenced how you show up in other relationships, friendships, and collaborations?
It's a great question. I don't know. I feel like because I'm not like a hopeless romantic. I'm not that kind of girl. I think I've learned from our relationship what it means to have stability and consistency. And so maybe how it would affect other relationships is just like understanding what like a baseline looks like for me in terms of a level of commitment because we're not the same kind of person. We definitely butt heads and things like that, but there's a way about how we kind of move through those things.
Yeah.
And so for me, if I'm in a high conflict kind of relationship, I guess I would come back to this one and go, dang, I'm not even doing that in my own home. Why am I settling for this? Or why am I
Yeah.
allowing this to have this much of an impact on me?
Yeah.
So I think I've learned a lot about what safety looks like and kind of what consistency and foundationally for my relationships. I think it's a great
Yeah.
place for me to kind of look to as a guide.
That's super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Foundation is everything. Consistency is even better.
Yeah.
So you become a recognizable voice in the digital space. What
Have
responsibility?
I?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, according to
Household a
who?
household name.
My gosh.
What responsibilities do you feel come with influence?
I think there's a huge responsibility that comes with influence, and I don't think that we are actually seeing it that way. And I think
Mm.
it's really scary. I think there is a responsibility to be mindful about the things that you say, the way that you present yourself. I think the internet is a wild place, and I think like integrity is really important.
Mm.
And I try really hard to be very mindful of that. Like, people are on the other side trusting and believing what I say. And so there's a responsibility to steward that influence in
Yeah.
that way. For me, it's not entertainment. It's not just something I get to do so I can make money or give my family a better life. There are people on the other end that I want to
Mhm.
be able to encourage, that I want to
Yeah.
be able to speak life into. I really value my followers a lot, and I really value the community that I have with
Yeah.
the people that follow me. Like, I feel it is a privilege to be an influencer, not a right. I think that it is a vote of confidence when someone decides to follow you and when they
Mm.
are interested in your world and
Yeah.
want to know your story. I think that is like a real honor. So that's my posture towards it. I feel like anybody that is interested in my life or my family or what I'm doing that invest by a message or a comment. That is such a gift, and I try not to take it for granted.
Be grateful. It's
Yeah.
just such a piece of just graciousness to understand and accept because you see memes all the time about if you were in a room and you were with 30,000 people or whatever, and all of those 30,000 people were supporting you. Why are you getting upset that you didn't get one more person?
Listen, I had a huge wake-up call, in 2023. My family and I went to go see Beyoncé at the Renaissance concert at we were in Questfield, and my daughter had asked me, I don't know what we were talking about, but she was like, "How many followers do you have on Instagram?" And I was like, 33,000. And then I looked up, I was like, "I wonder how many people this stadium holds." And it holds
Mhm.
35,000. And I looked around and I was like, "This many people are following me online."
Yeah,
That's a huge responsibility.
huge.
And not that 33,000 people are seeing my post, but, like, what an honor
Yeah.
that a stadium full of people feel like I am valuable enough to follow.
No, seriously.
And forget about 33,000, 10,000,
Yeah,
1,000 people. 1,000 people is a lot of people. 500 people is a lot of
yeah.
people. Like,
And I think people get so sad about, "Oh, I only have X amount of
and
followers."
it's like you would not if you were got up in a room of 500 people, you would be delighted that
Yeah.
500 people
Showed
wanted to
up.
hear from you. That
Yeah.
is such an honor.
Yeah. My personality has landed many gigs emceeing events locally. And every time I show up, like, people are, "Oh my gosh, Amanda, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Mm." Like, I forget that it's the brand, that they've seen me through something or someone or somehow, and they know my name. They know my energy. They know what
Mhm.
to expect whenever I command the room and bring the vibe. And it's something that's so cool about being chosen.
No, for real. And honestly, one person, this right here, even just sitting across from someone dialoguing, you can say something that could change somebody's life forever.
For sure.
One person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think social media is such a gift. I think being an influencer is really a privilege.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything that I've gotten is because of people who follow me.
Absolutely.
And I'm so thankful to them.
Yeah. For sure. So, how do you stay grounded when you're being seen by so many, yet still trying to protect your peace and privacy?
Yeah, I think that I constantly remind myself, like, this is not real.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
also can be it's easy to love somebody that you don't know. It's easy to love somebody that gets to curate what you know about them.
Yeah.
While we're always, "Well, you can't, don't own what the haters say, don't take that seriously." You also can't own what people are saying when it's a compliment if they don't actually know you.
Yeah.
So, I am thankful for all of it, but you don't actually know me. You
Yeah.
don't know me the week before my period when I'm, like, PPDMing and getting emotional. You
Yeah.
don't know me when I'm not so kind. I try really hard to ground myself again in the truth and in people who have seen me through many seasons,
Yeah.
ups and downs, the worst parts of me, and I try not to allow my ego to take too much validation and affirmation from people online who
Yeah.
don't actually know me that well
That
at
part.
all.
So, has influence changed the way people approach you? And how has that affected your boundaries?
Yeah, I think people when you're an influencer, people just automatically feel like you're more important than you really are. I'm just like you, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
I have to, like, kinda sometimes bring people down. I think the other thing that I actually don't love about influencing is the way that we, like, decide somebody's importance and worth based on how many followers they have. I think that's yucky and it, like, gives me the ick. It's people will either be excited about you because you have so many followers, or they'll be, like, not impressed by you because you don't have as many followers, and it's, like, so sad because that number has nothing to do with how great I am or how icky I am or what, like, it's just it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So I don't love that part about it. I have people who won't pay me any attention until somebody else endorses me that they feel is more valuable, and that doesn't feel good. And then I have people who think I'm way, like, incredible because of this number, and that actually doesn't feel good either
Yeah.
because it doesn't have anything to do with who I am as a person,
Seriously.
and we'll miss out on someone because we're sizing them up based on a following.
I will
And
always say word of mouth is more powerful.
yeah, period. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've been that more longer than I've been a follower, so I
Yeah.
understand that. Any of that to play a role. It does get yucky when people feel like they're owed something. Like, somebody told me recently the other day, "You need to start posting about your home. You need to start posting about all your DIYs and you'll get more deals." And then I'm just like, "Well, I don't know that I wanna share about my home."
It's yours.
I've shared everything. I'm not sure where I am with that, and I don't know that I want to do that yet. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't love that people feel like they get to decide, like, what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it. And when I first got my home, somebody reached out to me and they were like, "Just make sure you don't buy anything from Amazon or Target." And, like, while I'm, like, totally down for that and in alignment with that, as a Black woman in America, I feel like that is not my fight right now. Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do what I need to do to, like, support my family, and if
Yeah.
I see something that is in one of those places that is gonna help me build a home for my family, I'm going to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
I don't like being told what to do,
0%.
because the way that we
0%.
protest may be some other way, right?
There's so much more impact in silence sometimes.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So as you've grown in your career and visibility, how have your friendships evolved?
I think it's harder to kind of understand why someone is drawn to you or attracted to you. I also don't love to be friends with people where I have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of safety in my friends who don't care about what I do for a living because I feel like it feels more real.
Yeah.
I have some friends that when I get around them, all they want to do is take selfies and post and things like that, and that just feels really disingenuous. And then I have friends who don't care. I have friends that have never made an appearance online. People wouldn't even know we were even friends. I feel safety in that. And it's not because I wouldn't, but it's just like our relationship's not based on that. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be shown. And I think as I'm getting older and just some of the things that I've walked through recently, I want to protect the things that are really important to me. And I
Yeah.
don't necessarily always feel the need to parade it in front of everyone.
Thank you. There's just something in having something to yourself that's so important. Have you experienced friendship losses that surprised you or taught you something lasting?
Yeah, I have. I actually feel I was talking to a friend about this recently. I didn't have a party stage. I didn't have like I just don't have a lot of conflict or craziness in my life. But when I am where I have to grow and where I generally find most of my life lessons is in my relationships. And it's
Mm.
like really, it gets really painful. And yeah, I've had a friendship loss that wrecked me. I've had friendship losses that just didn't feel like the right fit. I think it's always a surprise. I think you never go into friendship thinking that it's going to end or that it's
Mhm.
going to be over. It never feels good, whether it's temporary, whether it's long lasting, whether it's, trying on something new. Like it never feels good to have
Yeah.
to split from a friend or to lose a relationship. But which loss, I feel like I've gained a part of myself back. And more importantly, I feel like I get an understanding of what I value in relationships, and I've learned what's worth fighting for. And sometimes you got to spin the block again.
Girl.
Sometimes the loss isn't worth it, and sometimes you have to go back and pick that loss up.
Restoration.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about restoration and reconciliation,
Yeah.
especially in this season. So yeah, but the loss was necessary. Sometimes we have to lose so we can grow. I think those are the biggest lessons. Like
For sure.
loss stretches us and it teaches us about ourselves, but it also teaches us how to show up better. Yeah.
Good. So there's a quiet truth about the social climb in creative and influencer circles. How do you navigate authenticity in spaces that can sometimes feel transactional?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I think you have to know what spaces you're walking into and who's in the space.
Yeah.
And then you show up with that in mind, right?
Yeah.
So it's apples to apples. I know when people are being transactional with me, and I think instead of being offended by that, you
Mm.
have to put on your big girl panties and
I'm gonna move how you move.
move. Yeah, exact. Period. That's it. That's it. It's apples to apples. It's like
Watch this.
yeah, you know what rooms you're walking in. You go into the room. If
Yeah.
if it's transactional, great. Make sure that you get a great
Yeah.
transaction out of it.
Thank you.
And it's just like
Don't
every
take it personal.
yeah, yeah. I'm not transactional.
Yeah.
I really want to believe that I'm not at least. Like I think maybe there are some I think if I probably get to the truth of things, maybe there are some moments where I am transactional, but I try really hard not to be. But I think there are times where that is just what the moment calls for.
Yeah.
And you just
In
got to
and
let
out.
it be what it's going to be. Yeah, and
in and
not take
out.
it personally.
So, what do you look for in friendships now that maybe you didn't value as deeply before?
Yeah, okay. So, I think in the past I valued how my friendships looked on the outside to the people who are watching it. And I think in the last couple years I realized I don't want a friendship that looks good. I want a
Mhm.
friendship that is good.
Yeah. That
I've
feels good.
That's real.
Mhm.
That's real, that I can bet my life on. Because the reels and the cute little matching outfits and all that, that's cute. But
Yeah.
if there's nothing there, then it's like all you got is a reel and a matching outfit.
Mhm.
I want depth in my relationships, and I would much rather have a friendship that is so, so deep and so, so pure and so, so real that no one can nail down than to be parading for the world to see. So that's one. Two, I really value like emotional safety, vulnerability, reciprocity,
Oh, that part.
trust. And reciprocity for me doesn't mean that I do this thing and you're doing this thing
No.
back. It means like when I show up on the bridge, I know you're going to be on the other side of it
Yeah.
and we're going to walk it out together.
Yeah.
And so I just value a really honest friendship that understands that we're both on our journeys, but we're walking this out together, good, bad,
Yeah.
ugly. And unfortunately, it took loss for me to realize that I actually valued what I lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just taught me a lot.
Seattle Tacoma has been a backdrop for so much of your
Mm.
story. How has the city shaped your growth?
First of all, I love Seattle because Seattle pays me, but I am a Tacoma girl through and through.
Yes.
She is from the grid city of destiny. I love Tacoma. I love living here. I love growing up here. I don't know why. I mean, probably because it's home, but I also love that Tacoma's kind of an underdog. When you look at it just is unassuming and you don't expect much from it,
Mm,
but you have to get to know it
yeah.
to love it and to see the magic. And I think maybe in some ways I feel that way about myself. Maybe from the outside looking in, maybe I'm a little unassuming, but if you get to know me, there's so much depth and there's so much more to me than what meets the eye. So I feel I kind of resonate with that. Everybody wants to skip over Tacoma and go straight to Seattle because Seattle is sparkly and glittery and wonderful, but it's like you miss out. You miss
Yeah.
out when you're always chasing the big kahuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a good one for you. So if Seattle Tacoma were a character in your story, what role would it play?
Oh my gosh. Seattle is my boss.
Yeah.
Seattle is the one that writes the checks for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tacoma is that like pair of jeans, that place that you always reach for. I feel like Tacoma is just home. It's home for me.
There it is. So what are you most proud of right now in this current chapter?
Whew, this is good. I'm proud of the work that I'm doing to heal. I feel I am really facing the ugly pieces and parts of me and trying to really get to the bottom of them so that I can be the best person for myself, but also for the people that I love. And I think that healing is really painful, hard work. And
Mm,
no one wants to look at themselves and go, dang, I failed in that area, or I came up short there, or I could have done this differently. Because it feels yucky. It just feels like you didn't measure up in some way or that you've failed. And I'm so hungry to be the best person that I can be that
yeah.
I would rather face that and deal with it and heal from it so I can have a stronger, fuller, beautiful life
Yeah.
than to pretend I haven't caused harm or I haven't impacted people in a
Yeah.
negative way. And reconciliation and restoration is not for everyone. You don't always get an opportunity to like, and I don't expect that, but I just want to be clear on why I did the things that I did or
Yeah.
moved the way that I moved. And so I've been
That's
spending,
so important.
yeah, I've just spending a lot of time introspection and just working on like not being so offended and not feeling so rejected and not allowing how people respond to me to like, shape my worth.
Mm,
Just getting to know myself,
yeah.
for real.
Peel back that layer.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm most proud of right
Yeah.
now.
Good. What kind of legacy do you hope your daughters see you building?
I want my girls to know that they can have it all, be it all, that they don't have to shrink, that they can be a wife, a mother, a businesswoman. I just want them to feel like they can grab hold of their dreams and like actually achieve them. And so I hope that by living my life out loud for them, that they feel they can do that because
Yeah.
they've seen it done. And I really, while I love mentorship and things like that, and I do want them to have people outside of like their dad and I love and I hope that they feel everything they needed they could get from this house.
Yeah. The
You know?
nucleus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my son, he's 19.
Mhm,
He is in college doing extremely well, and I did not realize the impact and influence that I had on him
mhm,
rising up as a single mother.
mm.
The nod to me was he has built not 1 but 3 apps and released them as an entrepreneur.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he got into his master's program already at 19 at the
Wow.
UW.
Wow.
And
That's incredible.
he watched me as a single unit by choice have this stable life, this stable income, build multiple streams of income, multiple businesses, multiple degrees, and he's doing the same thing
Um,
at 19.
that's amazing.
I was so hard on myself, so down on myself because I was committed, and this might be a trigger for some, being a statistic, a young brown mom raising a young brown boy.
Mhm.
And I was so committed to positioning him in the best neighborhood, giving him the best education, living the best life. So that was his picture. That was his backdrop.
I resonate with that,
Yeah.
like, my
No,
kids as many opportunities and experiences as possible so that their worldview is so much bigger than
that
what
part.
mine was. Raising them in a safe home where they
Mhm.
can, like, express themselves and thrive. I
Yeah.
mean, you saw the girls that came down here and they gave you a hug. They don't even know who you are, but, like,
Yeah.
it just shows, like you said, the emotional safety that they
Right.
have that, like, if I'm sitting across from someone, they must be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's, like, it's such an opposite experience of my own childhood.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Same. And I mean, I grew up in a single parent home and was able to build a legacy that I didn't have and generational wealth that I didn't have.
yeah,
And I'm able to carry forward. I taught my mom how to build a business and be an entrepreneur.
that's so cool.
I'm able to carry my dad financially for him to live independently when he wasn't able to now. Like I carry these torches and honor
But
my
yeah,
parents.
yeah.
Yeah. So last question, what's a new beginning on the horizon for you that you haven't talked about yet?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? I don't know. I think I'm kind of in that right now. We had talked about this a little bit earlier in the podcast. Like most of the things that I wanted to do, like I've achieved them, I've accomplished them. And so I think in this season that I'm in right now, I think I'm just kind of developing what does this last half of my life look like?
Yeah.
Because I'm 43, and so I'm definitely entering the back end of my marathon. And I think whatever comes out of this will be kind of the new beginning. But I definitely want to write a book. And I think that is something that I can say out loud that I think will be probably forthcoming.
Claim it.
But I don't know. I think that's the exciting part is just kind of seeing. I spend a lot of time in prayer asking God, what do you want to do with me? What is it that you want to see happen? How do you want to use me?
Yeah.
And so that's kinda I haven't gotten that revelation yet, but that is definitely where I am right now.
The vessel is rising.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So that was Tash Haynes, a woman who has not only weathered many chapters, but continues to write new ones with intention, grace, and strength. What stood out most in today's conversation is that resilience doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks quietly choosing yourself again, being held by love, and learning how to let go of what no longer fits. If you're in a season of change, this episode is your reminder that you don't have to figure it all out. You just have to keep showing up with your people, with your passion, and with your courage to begin again. As always, thank you for listening to Solo in Seattle. Be sure to follow, rate, and share this episode if it resonated with you. And until next time, keep going, keep growing, and keep choosing yourself.